Stop waiting. Stop waiting for someone to validate you, recognize you, approve you, or even understand you. Too many people with life-altering ideas, powerful dreams, and divine callings are stuck at the starting line, not because they're incapable, not because they're unqualified, but because they're waiting for permission. Permission from people who don't see the vision, who don't carry the burden, and who were never meant to birth what was placed in your spirit. Asterisk, you were not created to be ordinary. There is something unique, something set apart, something that demands to be brought forth through you. And the moment you stop looking for applause or approval to start, that's the moment you start walking in power. Greatness doesn't need a cosigner. Your purpose is not a group project. No one else has to see it. No one else has to agree with it. If the calling was given to you, then the work is assigned to you. The blueprint is already written. What's missing is your movement. Asterisk, too often, people delay destiny because they're scanning the room for someone to cheer them on before they've taken the first step. They look for likes, validation, support, a platform or an audience. But the truth is, the breakthrough is in your hands. It's not waiting for applause, it's waiting for action. Nobody wakes you up in the morning and reminds you of the dream you carry. That's your job. That's your responsibility. The hunger inside of you, that whisper that says, keep going, that doesn't come from the outside. That's your assignment calling you by name. Asterisk, there's a version of your life that exists on the other side of decision. One decision to stop hesitating, stop waiting, stop analyzing every possible outcome. The truth is, you'll never be fully ready. You'll never have it all figured out. But faith is not about knowing every step, it's about taking the first one without having the whole map. Progress is messy. Growth is uncomfortable. But you can't avoid discomfort and expect greatness. The two don't mix. You've got to be willing to start messy, to begin imperfectly, and to step into uncertainty without needing everyone around you to agree with your move. Asterisk. Every great story begins with someone who refused to wait. Someone who said, I don't have all the answers, but I know this fire inside me won't let me quit. That fire is not your imagination, it's a signal, a calling, a reminder that you were built to build. You were wired to create. You were designed to become more than what you currently are. But none of that activates until you move. You can pray, you can plan, you can prepare, but until you move, nothing shifts. Motion activates momentum. And momentum changes everything. Asterisk, people will tell you to wait. Wait until you have more experience. Wait until you have more money. Wait until you have more followers. Wait until you're more qualified. But the people telling you to wait are often the ones who've never dared to start. They speak from fear, not from vision. They're projecting their limits onto your limitless potential. You've got to stop giving their voices more weight than your own conviction. The same people who doubt you today will one day ask how you did it. And the answer will be simple. You stopped waiting for them to believe in you. Asterisk. There's a war going on inside. So many people, a tug of war between comfort and calling. And the side that wins is always the one you feed. Comfort is easy, familiar, safe, but your purpose doesn't live there. It lives in the risk, it lives in the leap, it lives in the unknown. There is no growth without tension, no transformation without pressure, no breakthrough without resistance. But you've been conditioned to seek approval before progress, and it's killing your momentum. Asterisk somewhere along the way. You started thinking that if enough people said you were ready, then you'd move. But leadership doesn't follow consensus. Visionaries don't wait for polls. The future belongs to the bold, not the hesitant. You've got to learn to move in silence, build in private, and grind without needing confirmation. Every step forward is a declaration that you're done living. Beneath your calling, asterisk, when a seed is planted, no one claps. No one celebrates. The soil is dark, the process is lonely, but the growth still happens. That's where you are right now. In the dark, in the silence, but something is sprouting. And if you stay the course, water the vision, and refuse to give up, the harvest will speak for itself. You won't have to explain yourself when the fruit shows up. The evidence will silence the doubt. Asterisk, there's power in choosing yourself. not in arrogance but in authority. The authority to say, I believe in what I carry even if no one else does. That's not pride, that's responsibility. Because when you don't move on what's inside of you, the world misses out. Someone needs what you've been sitting on. Someone's breakthrough is connected to your obedience. And every day you delay is a day someone else has to wait for the solution. You were born to deliver, asterisk. You don't need the right time. You need the right mindset. You don't need everyone's support. You need your own discipline. You don't need all the pieces. You need the courage to start with what's in your hands. Your voice matters, your dream matters. Your gifts are not random, they are required. But they will not activate themselves. They require you. Not a version of you that's waiting to be perfect, but the you that's willing to be persistent. Asterisk, the choice is yours. Sit in silence or step into purpose. Wait for permission or walk in power. But don't you dare die with your dream still in you, asterisk. The world doesn't hand success to those who merely wish for it. It doesn't yield to dreams whispered in comfort. It moves, shifts, and bends for those who push, those who persist when everything around them screams to stop. The difference between those who almost made it and those who etch their names into history is not brilliance, not genius, not talent. It's the refusal to quit. That relentless, raw, unpolished persistence that keeps you moving forward even when it makes no sense to continue, asterisk. Life isn't fair, and it's not supposed to be. It's designed to test you, to throw obstacles in your path so brutal and so discouraging that most will walk away. But if you can keep putting one foot in front of the other, if you can rise after the 100th fall, if you can stand up when your legs feel like stone, if you can smile through your tears and say, I'm not done yet, then life will eventually move. The doors will open. But not until you've proven that you're ready, not just with your words, but with your grit. Asterisk, every person chasing something great will face the temptation to quit. When the progress is slow, when the support disappears, when the results don't show up on your timeline, the mind starts to play tricks. It tells you you're wasting your time. It tells you the dream is too far, too unrealistic, too much. But in those moments, what you do next defines who you become. Most people retreat, a few rest, but the rare few, the ones who change their lives and the lives of others, lean in. They keep going, asterisk. Persistence isn't pretty. It's not loud or glamorous. Sometimes it's lonely. Sometimes it feels like you're invisible, screaming into a void that doesn't care. But still, you show up, still, you work, still, you give your best. And that's what creates transformation, not the applause. Not the validation, not the results, but the decision to keep going in the absence of all three. That decision becomes a habit. That habit becomes a lifestyle. And that lifestyle changes everything. Asterisk, when you chase something meaningful, you will be misunderstood. You will be doubted, you'll lose people. You'll question your own sanity. But if you can stay the course, if you can trust the process more than your emotions, eventually, your moment comes. The work you did in the dark gets seen in the light. The progress that seemed invisible becomes undeniable. And the person you become in that process? Unstoppable. Asterisk, there is no shortcut to anything worth having. The world is obsessed with speed, but mastery belongs to those who can endure. Those who are patient enough to keep swinging even when the scoreboard says 0. Those who keep writing when nobody's reading. Those who keep building when nobody's watching. That kind of persistence doesn't just build success, it builds character, it forges discipline. It creates someone who can handle the weight of the dream once it finally arrives. Asterisk, you don't have to be the most talented. You don't have to be the smartest. But you do have to be consistent. Consistency, over time, creates momentum. Momentum creates belief. Belief creates results. And those results fuel even more action. But it all starts with a simple decision to keep going, even when it's boring, even when it's slow, even when it hurts. Asterisk, there will be days you wake up and feel like nothing you're doing matters. You'll look around and see people getting ahead with less effort, less struggle, less sacrifice. You'll wonder if all your effort is in vain. But that's when you have to dig deep. That's when you have to remember that your path is different, that what you're building requires more of you. And if it requires more, it will give more eventually. But only if you stay the course. Obstacles are not there to stop you, they're there to reveal you, to show you who you are, to test how bad you really want it. Anyone can be committed when it's easy. But who will you be when it's not? Will you rise or will you retreat? Will you grind in silence or will you give in to noise? These questions don't get answered with your mouth. They get answered with your actions every day, every step, every time you choose discipline over comfort. The thing about persistence is that it builds a version of you that can't be created any other way. You become someone who doesn't rely on external motivation, someone who shows up whether or not the world claps for you. You become the storm, not the victim of it. That kind of person doesn't just succeed, they become the standard. People are watching. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but they're watching. And one day, the same people who doubted your vision will use your name as proof that persistence works. You won't need to say a word. Your life will speak for itself. Your results will be undeniable, but only if you don't quit. Time will pass anyway. The question is, what will you have to show for it? Will you look back a year from now proud that you stayed in the fight? Or will you look back knowing you gave up right before the breakthrough? Because most people don't fail, they stop too soon. They miss the miracle because the pain felt permanent. But pain is temporary. Regret isn't. Keep building when it feels useless. Keep showing up when no one cares. Keep believing when no one else will. Because what you're building isn't just for you, it's for everyone watching, everyone following, everyone hoping someone makes it. Be that someone. Be the proof. Be the one who kept walking long after others sat down. This journey isn't about proving them wrong. It's about proving yourself right. You owe it to the dream. You owe it to the version of you that started. You owe it to the person you're becoming. Let every setback sharpen you. Let every delay develop you. And let every step forward remind you that you are not finished. Not now, not ever. You don't need permission to be great. That belief that someone out there has to sign off on your destiny, validate your dreams, or greenlight your next move is a lie. Too many people sit on potential, waiting for the world to say, "Now is your time." But time never announces itself. The clock doesn't grant opportunities, it only keeps ticking. And every tick is a test. Not of your talent, not of your intelligence, but of your persistence. Greatness is not polite. It doesn't arrive with a handshake and a schedule. It shows up raw, demanding effort, sacrifice, and relentless forward motion. You don't knock on the door of success and ask to come in. You break the door down with consistent effort. That effort, the kind that doesn't care who's watching, who's clapping, or who's criticizing, is what separates dreamers from doers. It's not the loud moments that define you. It's the quiet ones. The early mornings, the late nights, the weekends spent building instead of resting. Persistence is not glamorous. It's gritty. It's waking up tired but still showing up. It's being told no for the 10th time and choosing to believe in your yes anyway. It's failing publicly, getting laughed at, overlooked, underestimated, and still putting in the reps when nobody believes in the outcome. That's what greatness is made of. Not magic, not luck. Just pure, unfiltered endurance. The world often teaches you to wait. Wait for the perfect time. Wait for the right mood. Wait until you feel ready. But readiness is a myth. No one ever feels ready to chase something bigger than themselves. The truth is, the fear never goes away, you just get stronger than it. The minute you stop waiting, the minute you decide to move with what you've got, the universe starts to rearrange itself in response. Not before, after you commit. After you show the world you're serious. You've got to decide that your hunger is louder than your fear. That your desire to change your life outweighs your addiction to comfort. Because comfort is the enemy of progress. Comfort says, you're fine where you are. Persistence says, you're not done yet. You don't grow when you're comfortable. You grow when you're stretched, when you're tired, When you've got every excuse to quit and you keep going anyway? Asterisk. There's a version of you on the other side of persistence that you haven't even met yet. A stronger you. A bolder you. A more resilient, focused, driven, unstoppable you. But you'll never meet that person if you keep surrendering to the temptation of mediocrity. You don't get to become the best version of yourself by occasionally trying hard. You get there by waking up every day and deciding that excuses don't belong in your vocabulary. You've got to kill your excuses. Every single one. I don't have time. Make time. I'm not ready. Start anyway. I don't feel like it. Do it regardless. You don't get results by waiting for the perfect mood. You get results by creating momentum. And momentum only comes from movement. Forward motion, step by step, inch by inch. Even when it's messy. Especially when it's messy. Asterisk, people won't always understand your grind. That's fine. They don't have to. You're not here to be understood. You're here to be legendary. Let them call you crazy. Let them call you obsessed. Because obsession is the birthplace of excellence. Nobody ever made history by being casual about their vision. Nobody built something great by working on it when they felt like it. You've got to be all in, not halfway. Not sometimes, every single day. Asterisk, your consistency is your credibility. Not your words, not your ambition, not your potential. What you do repeatedly, that's who you really are. And if what you do repeatedly is show up, work hard, and stay locked in, then success isn't a matter of if, it's only a matter of when, because persistence always pays off. Maybe not immediately, but inevitably. Asterisk, you don't owe the world perfection. You owe it your perseverance. You don't need to have all the answers. You just need the discipline to keep asking better questions, taking bolder steps, making clearer decisions. There's something sacred about being the person who refuses to quit. There's power in showing up on the days when nobody would blame you for staying down. That's what turns effort into legacy. Asterisk, this isn't about proving people wrong. It's about proving yourself right. That you were made for more. That you didn't survive everything you've been through just to stop now. That there's more fire in you than fear. And that persistence isn't just something you have, it's something you are. A lifestyle, a mindset, a way of breathing. Asterisk, when you commit to persistence, you make a promise to yourself that no matter what happens around you, you won't stop what's happening within you. That your goals matter enough to fight for. That your future deserves your full energy. That your vision is worth the price. Asterisk, you're not here to watch the clock. You're here to own the clock. To turn every moment into a move. Every setback into strategy. Every challenge into character. You don't ask, how long will it take? You ask, how far can I go? Because you already know the answer, as far as you're willing to persist. Asterisk,